All right, here we go. What's up, Brian?
Well, man, good to see you.
You too, man. You too. Nah, seriously, man, I'm glad you could do this, and I'm excited, man, because I mean, there's just a few people that I think of that I really respect and appreciate as people, and what you've done professionally, and this whole thing, since the middle of March, has just affected people in so many ways. You know what I mean? Families and our whole lifestyle's been disrupted. But as a business owner, myself and you and other people, and we've had to just really adjust really quickly on the fly to everything.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of people that may, not to knock anybody, just has like kind of like their job, they go to it every day and everything, and they're just some people have an opportunity to just unplug and forget about things. But for people that are out there doing really what they love to do and have an obligation to their business and their clients, are really finding ways to lean in and change and innovate and do things in a different way, but still fulfill that mission that they have. So that's what this is really all about, like we were talking about before. But I mean, you and I was thinking about earlier today, man, like Jordan's about to be 17 now, right? And a lot of things, I think about, like, not first met you, but when I came back to town, she was about 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
So we known each other for a while, man. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Yeah.
It seems like longer, though, if you're not.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess because, so much happens in a lifetime, but that's when you owned this spot. Or no, you didn't even own it then, right?
No, Athletic Club I did. It was PW Iron Club. And then when I bought it, I changed it to Athletic Club just as a quick change. And then we changed it to Real Fitness not long after that.
Yeah. Well, just for people that don't know, talking about that, that was the spot that was right behind the 7-Eleven in the borough.
Yeah.
The old McDermott's. The old McDermott's is what that was.
Yep.
And, when you took it over, one thing I noticed, because I remember going there when it was Iron Club, and it was all dudes, it was death metal, it was just a completely different vibe. And then you bought it.
No, it was cool, though. Like, it was still cool. Like,
yeah.
It was definitely a cool place to work out.
Yeah.
It was a cool environment.
Yeah.
When I bought it, though, I saw it as an opportunity to reach more people. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to have it be a little bit more diverse and not so nichey. Because that group that's in there, the whole thing was advertised towards the 2%.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of people that could benefit from working out.
It was a weight room.
Yeah.
It was a weight room.
Stinky weight room.
It was a weight room. It was, yeah, and that's what attracted me to it at that time, because that's just kind of where my head was at that time. And then when you got into it and when you turned it over, that was what I was about to lead into, is that you just transitioned it from, it was night and day. It took you some time, but like you said, you just made it was way more inclusive, it was way more inclusive. So
I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to be soft, but I wanted it to be inclusive and just, maybe a little more humble.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And not like in your face, like, badass lifting weights and death metal. Just maybe a little bit more humble. Like, still doing a lot of work and doing cool stuff, but just more humble.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more enticing for other people to kind of get involved.
And that's what you wound up doing. That's exactly what happened, because as time went on, you started seeing more college students, younger professionals coming in, people that were of different fitness levels. Before, people didn't come in if they weren't already in shape, and then you started to come, you changed all that. And that's kind of and that was when you took over and you were PW Athletic Club.
Then we changed it to Real Fitness. Yeah, pretty much if you weren't a power lifter or like a really serious bodybuilder, you didn't feel welcome there.
No.
And that stuff's cool. I have a little bit of background in that stuff too. But
yeah,
I also liked the strength and conditioning aspect of it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the thing, as it continued to evolve, you kept people for long periods of time because of the relationship that you have with people, and everybody can't do that. Everybody can't really connect with people in different walks of life, different levels of fitness even, but you've been able to do that and carry people on. I mean, up to when I go into CrossFit Explode today, I see people that were with you 14 years ago. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, that a lot of times doesn't happen. So, when you transition to real fitness, it was way more inclusive. And then CrossFit started to come out. And that's when we started to do, well, that's when we did the 300, this t-shirt that I put up. Well, it was right before that, right?
Yeah. Well, the 300 was before we affiliated CrossFit. Because we were doing stuff like that. And I always kind of did, like, for myself, my strength and conditioning, administering that stuff for myself, it was basically CrossFit. I wanted to be as strong as possible. I wanted to run for as long as possible, and I wanted to be fast at doing all of it. I wanted good gymnastics, and so I wanted to be well-rounded as an athlete.
Right.
I feel like that benefited me towards some of the sports I was playing. But as far as the strength and conditioning methodology, it worked. It just worked. It was universally good for everyone, as long as you have a really, really, really specific goal. And even then, like, it was still beneficial for you.
Yeah. And so you started doing some workouts. Well, you did the 300 before you were CrossFit affiliated, and then you started to slowly transition into being CrossFit affiliated, right?
Yeah, well, we kind of did it abrupt. Like, I remember getting into CrossFit and just kind of using it as a resource.
Right.
And like we would write workouts up on a whiteboard just for like people to do and come on in. You sure if you did this workout, and it just got more and more varied. Where I was like, okay, well, CrossFit's already doing this. This is what they're already doing, and they're doing it really well.
Mm-hmm.
I met some people, and I had some people from my past that were doing it, and they just spoke so highly of it. I went and visited their gym, and I was like, all right, this is definitely what I want to do here.
Mm-hmm.
We were really, really fortunate because we had a good group to start with.
Yeah.
That was coming to that gym and doing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Once we went, full CrossFit, people, which was cool,
Yeah. Well, like you said, I mean, you had the right people. It was definitely the right time. I mean, you hit it at the right time.
Yeah. It just started taking off then.
Yeah.
It wasn't too popular where you had this kind of corny lunatic fringe that something passes itself to a good idea. Mm-hmm. But it still had the solid principles and methodology of strength and conditioning, and it was so early on that it just felt like ours. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
that
band or that group for the first time, and you're like, oh, this is my jam. You know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah.
You hear them like, they're playing at the Spectrum, and you're like, oh, dang. Like,
yeah.
But it was cool.
Yeah.
And, stuff still works, man. Hey, you touched on it. Probably the thing that I'm most proud of and the thing that I'm most grateful for is people that have been around for as long as they have been.
Yeah.
For me, doing right by people, like my people who've been there for a long time, doing right by them is everything. I don't even want to be in business if I can't do right by them. You know what I mean? So it all kind of started there, like just a service to them. Hopefully that's what I was doing, and I feel like I have. It's just been something that's been important to me.
Well, I mean, and it is what you've been doing. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to have the success and the growth that you've had over the last so long. Because a lot of people that attempt to do what you're doing, they have to pay so much money for marketing and schemes and to get people in the door. So much of what you've done has been word of mouth and people seeing results, and the culture that you have in all of the gyms that you've owned since I've known you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People, what's that?
To have that group of people, that core group of people that they go on and they almost preach this stuff and try to bring people because they're happy with what they get. And that's cool, man. That's a huge compliment for me. It obviously helps with business. But yeah, man, that's just service to people has been that's been a big thing of mine. I love the science behind strength conditioning. I love the psychology behind motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Top that off with the humility behind service to people, and it's a good combination.
Yeah, and when I'm as you're talking, I'm thinking of Andy Reid and how Andy Reid has so many head coaches that coached under him. You know what I mean? And it says a lot to what you've done over the years, because how many people have spun off and gone on to, graduate, get their degrees in athletic training or whatever it is, kinesiology, and they come back and they're trainers with you or other gyms. Or they have to go out and start their own gyms, and they got it started from you.
I got to tell you, my biggest regret over the time that I've been in business for myself, the people that I've come through that have worked for me have been unbelievable. I don't know if it's the field, just being in health and wellness and fitness and obviously a certain type of person is attracted to that field. So I don't know if it's the field or if I really lucked out, man, because the people that I've had come through and have worked for me, a good amount of time have been unbelievable. My only regret is that I haven't been able to retain them forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wish. But I mean, better off for them to, move on and do their own thing. I just wish I could have had something big enough to provide them with lifelong careers. That would thinking about some of those people that work there, even at
really good people, really great people. But again, I mean, I get it, and that's the one thing. It's you see people come in, they're really talented. You want to keep them. You want to do everything for them. It's sort of like, in some ways, really talented people are always going to grow. They're always going to, and at some point may grow out of what you have to offer them. It's like our kids, you know what I mean? At some point they grow out of our control, and they're supposed to, you know what I mean? So we let them go. We provide what we can while they're there, and we let them go and watch them go. But the thing about what you do is that, it might be, it might be the industry, it might be the location, it might be Westchester University, it might be some of those things, but people wouldn't continually come to where you specifically are, if they thought you were a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? The word would be around that this guy's an asshole. He treats people like trash. Nobody want to work for you. You know what I mean? But so I mean, people come there. They know you take care of them. You nurture them while you can. You offer them what you can while you can, and they take that on, and that's really special. And that's why it's it seems to me every time I come in, there's always a new group of fully committed professionals and young people where you are. You know what I mean? I might not know their faces because, I'm old school, but I see how committed they are to not just CrossFit and not just CrossFit Explode. They have the same principles that you have.
It's just getting people better.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you're looking to become a professional athlete, getting better is going to help you become a professional athlete. Yeah. If you're going to lose 10 pounds, getting better is going to help you lose 10 pounds.
Right.
Whatever you're looking to accomplish, getting better is going to help you get there. So the common denominator is to have people around you that are really concerned with getting people better. You just enjoy that. You like that type of thing, a service, just being a service to other people. That's a big thing. It's cool.
Yeah, no, and that in and of itself right there stands the test of time, and right now we're going through something that, we've never really gone through before. I mean, I can remember, we're old enough to remember what life was like after 9/11, and things were odd. The recession, things were weird. There was that period of time where nobody was like, what the hell's going on? This is different. And you have people that you're responsible for, employees, you have clients that you want to offer services to. So when this happens, let's just say mid-March, and the government is saying your access and your ability to do business is restricted, what do you start doing at that point? Like, and how, what do you do?
I think it goes in phases, right?
Yeah.
The initial phase was like, I'm not going to shut down.
Yeah.
So you try to work the system. And I remember the first week when it, everyone was shutting down, I was like, all right, we're not going to shut down. I told my employees, I was like, you guys don't have to come to work, obviously. And coach the classes. I'll do everything. Like, you guys don't have to be there. And all of them were like, no, we'll be there anyway. Like, the second week is when they started coming out with stronger suggestions to close down.
Mm-hmm.
So like, okay, like they're saying no more than 10 people gathering. We'll only have 9 people at the gym at a time. So you just got to register for an hour slot that day. And so you just innovate a little bit. And now that's cool. You knew who was going to be there at what time. You try to be there at the same time as people that you're usually there with. And it's fun still,
Yeah.
So we did that for the last week until we finally got the final. All right, you got to shut down. And it becomes that you should be socially responsible, and if that's what everyone's doing, social responsibility means you shut down.
Yeah.
Thanks though, and you don't want to, and God, it's killing. So you go. So the first phase is kind of like you're a little bitter, and you're like, how long is this going to last for? Like maybe it's only a little bit. So bitterness is there, and you're still trying to make it work, still trying to work out and get things done. And then you realize, okay, this is going to go on for a little bit longer than you think. I think that's when it's time to, like, for me personally, that's when it's like time to get busy.
Yeah.
That's when you got to get busy. That's when you've got to get really motivated. This isn't going to look the same when this is all over.
No.
And I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just being a little bit realistic. Like, you can throw a lot of money at the problem, but you shut the world down for, at least a month. It'll be.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that might be a little bit tough to just get things up and running. So I think this time now I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped for change. I'm pumped for innovation. Kind of, all right, this was a catalyst to get the next thing done.
Yeah.
Just in the next direction, whatever that is. You know what I mean? So just gonna take this time and work out a lot. Try to just, and I'm working more now than I did before all this, just trying to keep in touch with everyone, trying to make sure everyone's got programs that they're doing, that everyone's working out, keeping in touch somehow, like social media for that. But it's been busy, man.
Yeah.
And the time that I'm not at the gym now, it's like, all right, it's time to start thinking what's next.
Right.
It doesn't even have to be something big, but just what wasn't working before. Was there certain things we can clean up that'll make the gym run a little bit smoother? Get people what they want a little bit more.
Doing an inventory.
Yeah, just because it's kind of doing assessment and what can we change up that's going to make this more awesome, like just amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to what comes of it.
Because you had, I mean, I don't know what your membership numbers were, but I mean, there's a lot of people that were coming in and out of there, and you made it 24 hours accessible for a while there. It was pretty recently, right? I don't know how long you've been doing that.
When did we do that? Maybe November.
Okay. Yeah.
It was fairly recently, yeah.
So you had a lot of people with a lot of access to the facility, and now there's none. And so you say you're busier because you're reaching out to these people, you're getting them workouts, and, because I'm thinking for me, like, if I'm somebody that works out every day or works out consistently, and now I don't have that, You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, what do I do now? Like, who do I turn to now?
Just to touch on that, a scary thing is you've got a bunch of people who are really, really, really reliant on a high level of fitness to maintain relative sanity almost. Yeah, man. Now, I mean, that's gone. You need something. You absolutely replace that with something, and you got to keep moving. And the more restrictions that we get, the less you moved. And I get it, man. I could feel it, that there's almost a surrendering where you're kind of like, all right, do I just loft around, do I just give in and just kind of like wait this out and sit around? I don't think so, man. I think now's an opportunity to get motivated. Now's an opportunity to start doing more, whatever it is. And whatever it is, if you're doing it now and you're doing it at home, it's a variation. Variation is really good.
Mm-hmm.
If you change things up, you know how it is. If you change up things with your workout, you see amazing results right away.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll work that way for about a month.
Mm-hmm.
In a month, you need to change it up again.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep your body moving. Got to definitely, for that mental aspect, man, I worry for a lot of people because as a society, we see a lot more of that. Kids with anxiety and grown-ups with anxiety. Like, this stuff is really important.
It's very important. You know what I mean? It's very important. It's like you said, I mean, when you don't have that, and, because we put so many things in our lives, overall, that we spend so much of our time that we're in pursuit of daily. And we spend so much of our lives training to achieve something that we're in pursuit of. And when that thing or that process is taken away or it's displaced, we're left with all this time. Yeah. And it's like, what now? And it's like people are lost, and when all those things are taken away, it's like, all right, what really matters to me? Who really matters to me? And what do I really have to offer? What do I really want? And then you think of, and for so many people that are in fitness or like to work out or need to work out, but the thing that what your place offers so much is such a culture and a community, and we're social people. When we're isolated from that community, when we're isolated or and it's hard to stay motivated or it's hard to stay not just motivated, but disciplined to do the work daily.
Yeah.
That's kind of when the sickness comes in.
Scary, man. It gets dark. And I can see it, and I know people, it's got to get dark. Yeah. You've got to fucking move. Like, you've got to fucking move. That's when there's got to be a fire under your ass. When, like, it starts to get dark, now you start to move. Now you just moving. You just put one foot in front of the other, and you just start moving. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will surrender to that, man. You can't. So that's my main thing now, is just trying to get in touch with the people that were coming in the gym. What are you doing? What are you doing for workout? What do you have for equipment wise? Like, try these out with this equipment, like just something, anything. I lent out all the equipment in the gym. Like,
I saw that.
Nothing in the gym. Like, take whatever you can. Maybe in a week we'll bring it back, divvy it all out again. Like just something. Like keep switching it up. Try something different. Like, yeah. So there's that, man. There's as a business, I'm trying to retain value, and hopefully in the process you retain some of your people. Yeah. But more than that, man, I want those people that were there supporting my business. I want them to be good. I just want to do this,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I see that you're doing. I mean, I see a follow CrossFit Explode on Instagram. And I'll post all the numbers and all the websites and all that kind of stuff. I see you posting regular workouts that people can do at home. I see you sharing in the stories, and I'm sure your team is sharing that stuff in the stories too, and on Instagram and on your Facebook page. So you're staying engaged with people, and you're giving people daily content and daily suggestions of what they can do to keep moving. Because there's two things that we used to talk about. One was playing it safe, right? And I remember we were talking one day, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was life or business or what. But I was like, yeah, I'm just going to kind of, feel it out, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you're like, nah, man, that's the old man in you, That's the old man in you that just says, reserve your energy for another day. And then one time when I was damn near throwing up trying to do a workout at your place, and I'm like gasping for air, he said, you just got to keep moving because the air is not going to come to you. It's not going to show up. You just got to keep going. Like you said, you just got to keep going, even though it seems painful, even though it seems like it's not worth it even, you got to move, and that's the message that I see you giving to people every day, and that's what people fiend for and need at times like this.
Yeah.
The world needs people like you right now. You know what I mean? And, that's why it's so important that you've been doing what you've been doing over this past month or so, because it does get dark for people. And people look to you and people like you, they're like, okay, what do I do now, Brian? You know what I mean? What do I do now? And that's a hell of a responsibility, man. It's a hell of a responsibility.
Yeah, but the answer is my craft.
Yes.
I mean, like what you do right now, that's my craft.
Yep.
And I know what you do right now. And what you do right now is a little bit more than you did yesterday. Start there.
Mm-hmm.
What you did yesterday, you take that, do a little bit more. It's that simple.
Yep.
I mean, it's that simple to just get started moving and take that first step.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I'm not a psychologist and I can't help you out of that dark place other than know that you've got to move.
Yeah.
You've got to find a way to move. And we're past the point of, making people do workouts and them getting sick and throwing up. Like, that's great for you. You're a stud athlete and you've been working out your whole life. Like, for you to get sick, all right, I get it. But for your average person, that's not the start. That's not the end. And that's not the beginning. The beginning is just to move.
Yes.
On something.
Yes.
So, man, yeah, you got to keep moving. There's air there. There's peace there. There's happiness there. You just got to start moving in that direction.
So how do I get in touch with you? Like if I know your members know how to get in touch with you, but if I'm somebody that's out there, because I have, I think maybe 17, 18 million followers right now.
Ooh.
I'm joking.
That's a lot of, yeah.
I think there might be 4 people watching this, and they're both my parents and grandparents.
I miss you, Mrs. Edwards.
But that's for real. Like, how do people get in touch with you? Like, how does that work?
Yo, my phone number is 610-517-5961. Shoot me a text. That's probably the best way. Email me and make it a little bit more formal. bq@crossfitexplode.com. Go that way, or you can DM me at CrossFit Explode on Instagram. At
CrossFit Explode. You post regular. Website is so they can take a look at the gym, see the facility is. What's it again?
CrossFitExplode.com.
CrossFitExplode.com. Find everything there.
On the website, there's a workout of the day or a WOD page, and that's got a workout of the day. And right now, they're all home workouts, so it's stuff you can do it. Yeah, but anybody who's interested, get in contact with me. And, we can get you started on something, anything.
Do you have a vision? Like, in wrapping up here, do you have a vision of what life is? Yeah. When the smoke clears here, because my guess is things start to open up in phases too. You know what I mean? Similar to how it was shut down. It's like, okay, we'll let 10 people at a time congregate. What do we do? You know what I mean? So do you have a vision of what life looks like for your business moving forward?
That's what I imagined. I imagined that we're going to go through phases and opening things back up. I'll probably go right back to that. No more than 10 people at the gym. But from there, man, you got to see. I just got to see with the way things are going, what direction to take it in.
Yeah.
My main thing is just keep trying to do right by people. and I hope I can. You know, if there's people I haven't been able to reach out, and you know, I hope I don't fall short, but reach out to me.
Look, man, I believe that God makes people who they are. You know what I mean? And He made you right. You know, He made us right. You know, and you know, people stick with you because of what you got going on, and that's special. You know, so I mean, I have no doubt that you're going to be fine. You know, and this is, you know, you will be better than ever, and it's going to be it's an interesting time, man. It's an interesting time, but
really crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We've never seen anything like this.
I mean, your daughter's are you doing, like, are you guys, I mean, so Jordan, her school year's done, right?
Same thing with Natalie.
Natalie's school year's done. And she's in what grade now?
6th grade.
So are you able to do 6th grade math?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
I stopped being able to help her in 5th grade, man.
Oh, like, I stopped being able to help her in 4th grade.
So I don't know how to do it. So what are you doing? Like, how do you handle that?
She's got way smarter people than me helping her out.
Good.
So I just try to be there, man. That's all I know. I just try to be there as much as I can.
Because this whole thing, I mean, especially with kids, it's like, I mean, you take them, and this is a whole nother subject. We can go down this path some other time, but, you know, just keeping them mentally okay. You know what I mean? Because they're separated from their. Could you imagine?
I see it.
Yeah.
Like, just can't do anything. You can't interact with other people. Man, this is not healthy. No. As it is to keep people, you know, social distancing and keep people from infecting other people. I get it. There's got to be another solution. You're dealing with a lot of people who are going to have a real hard time.
Yeah.
Real hard time from this. And they got that virus.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It seems like, man, I hope it doesn't go on much longer.
I'm actually next week hopping on this thing, and I'm talking to some therapists and just kind of like getting their take on it, because
they're probably overwhelmed.
They're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed with Zoom calls, and, you know, like you try to get an appointment with them. Like, you can't get an appointment until
dish out, man. Like, it's got to be tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough and really overwhelming.
Yeah. But you're keeping people moving. They know how to get in touch with you. And, yeah, man, this was fun.
Yo, man, good catching up with you.
Yeah, you too. And everybody knows how to get in touch with Brian, CrossFitExplode.com. I'm going to put all his info underneath this. And, yo, man, be good, Brian.
Yeah, you too. Good to see you, Chris. Stay safe, bud.
Take it easy.